than the first one. My other one here is built on kite spar. This one here is my shield pulling axe. And I'll explain why in a second. So, measure or weight, I mean, about 17 ounces. It has a really, really wide head. It's like 2 inches thick, or wide, I mean. And it is notched ever so slightly behind the beard, so I can get into a shield edge really well. This is angled down fairly steeply. But it's so wide, so you can get a really good grab, and you can pull on things a lot. And the wider the foam is here, the more structural integrity you have. So I can pull on shoulders here a lot, and not have to worry about the head coming off. And for these axes that I built, the first two I did, this here is a 3/8 inch gym mat that I wrapped around. This one here I wrapped around blue foam, which its thickness is between 1/2 inch and 3/8 inch. So it's also a little thicker because of that. But yeah, this is one of my more preferred axes because of that shield pulling ability. Also, again, sewn on the top, tack the corner down, tack the first one on the inside, tack the on the outside. I don't know why I did that. And that's taped on the back to hold the cover on. Now we get into some slightly more interesting things. This here, I refer to as a bar mace. Again, this cover's not sewn at all. It's a leggings leg that I cut, put on top, taped down, taped on. These bits of tape are to help accent the head, because it's just basically a flat blade sword doubled up. So you build this here the way you'd build a flat blade sword, with the piece of foam on the edge, both sides, and then the foam here, that'd be the striking layer of a standard sword. And then you do the half hang the same way. You just put the same thickness here up all 4 sides, and the striking layer all 4 sides. So it comes out really heavy because of that. Much heavier than a sword is, and much heavier than you can get with standard method of building an Omni. But if you want to do an Omni, and you don't want to get the special Omni foam, or get Omni reblade kits, this is a really easy way to build one, and I think it looks a lot cooler. It is more tip heavy than my other weapons. That's because of how much foam is on the tip. And it is just about 14 ounces. It's a little lighter because of the way I did this handle. My other swords, when I was first building them, I was putting some magnet tape in the handle too, until I realized that putting magnet tape in a handle doesn't actually help the balance all that much, and mostly just adds weight. When you add weight for balancing, you want to add as much weight to the pommel as you can. Because this here, it's basically a seesaw, right? Well, it's fulcrum, okay? Your balance point is the fulcrum point. If you add weight here, you're adding a lot of weight, but you're not getting much balancing out because it's really close to the balancing point. But if you put it way far away from the balance point, it shifts the balance point down much more. So if you want to add weight without changing the balance, you want to add more weight near the top of the handle. If you want to have less weight and more balancing, you want to add more weight near the pommel. This here's a red I made. This is heavy. I refer to this as an Orc Smasher. It is 4 foot, 31.67 ounces. It is built just like my bar mace, except I have carpet tape on the inside here to really push the corners in, to really get a good pop with the corners. This is built like the bar mace, the exact same way, where you have the foam going up the sides, same here, except right here it ramps up a little bit. See if I can get a good shot of that. Has a little bit of a ramp up. So we get something to help accentuate that. So the ramp up parts, I took a piece of a 4-pound foam, no, not 4-pound, half-inch gym mat. I cut a square of it, velveted it off, and I put it underneath, and then I put my striking layers on. So it ramps up at the bottom and at the tip. And this is also this also has a stab tip to it as well. That's why it has that ramping effect. This here has 2 layers of it, and this here has only 1 layer of it. So it's actually a really good, you can really see that up here. And I also made these ones here longer. So this here has a really short piece. The top has a much longer piece underneath. This here is heavy but fun. And it's also very, very tip heavy. If you're having trouble with a min red getting people to take shield shots, it's probably because either there's not much weight to it or it's not balanced near the tip enough. The higher the weapon balance is toward the tip, the more force is like imparted on the on target. So if you have a min red with a very low balance point and a low weight, when you hit shields, you're not really getting a lot of force delivered to that shield. But having a heavier red with a much higher up balance point, or even a light red with a very high balance point, the higher balance really helps to deliver more force. So this here would be something that I would move on to if maybe I couldn't knock weapons out of people's hands with a min red, like they have like a really good grip. I can do it there for sure with this here one. Or if people aren't taking shield shots from another min red I use, then I'll transition to this here, and this here will definitely get enough force to be shield breaking hits. I definitely have a lot more sword builds than that, but these are my more unique ones. And yeah, I will definitely be going through and doing videos on these as I need to make them. I'm building axes here in the near future. Might make another bar mace perhaps. Have a dueling or Florentine pair of them. And yeah, I'm out. Have a good time, and see you in the future.